You wake up. Before your feet touch the floor, before you've even opened both eyes, your hand is already reaching for your phone. You check it. Messages. Notifications. A quick scroll. It feels harmless. Feels normal. But the real answer to why you do this is far stranger than habit, and it has almost nothing to do with your phone at all. Your brain is not checking for messages. Your brain is checking for danger. 70,000 years ago, a person woke up the exact same way you did this morning. Eyes open. Body still. And before they moved a single muscle, their eyes were already scanning. Not for threats they expected. For threats they couldn't predict. A rustle in the grass. A shift in the wind. A silence where there should have been birdsong. This wasn't anxiety. This was maintenance. Every single morning, for a species that spent the overwhelming majority of its existence with no walls, no locks, and no guarantee of seeing tomorrow, waking up safely was never something to take for granted. Your body still runs this program. It just doesn't know the environment has changed. Neuroscientist Robert Sapolsky has spent decades studying something called the cortisol awakening response, a sharp spike in stress hormone that occurs in the first 30 to 45 minutes after you open your eyes. It isn't random. It's a built-in alertness surge, designed to prepare your body to assess its surroundings the instant consciousness returns. For most of human history, that assessment was physical. Is the fire still going? Is everyone in the group accounted for? Is there a predator nearby? Today, that same neurological spike still fires right on schedule. But there's no fire to check. No group to count. So your mind reaches for the nearest available substitute for scanning the environment. And for most people, that substitute is a 5-inch screen. Here's where it gets stranger. Your phone isn't just a distraction that hijacked an old habit. It's a near-perfect match for what your ancestors' brains were built to look for. Evolutionary psychologist Randolph Nesse has argued that many modern behaviors we label as bad habits are actually ancient survival mechanisms firing in an environment they were never designed for. He calls this a mismatch. Your body isn't broken. Your body is simply running incredibly old software in a completely unrecognizable world. The morning scan was never about phones or notifications. It was about status, safety, and belonging. Did anything change overnight that threatens my position in the group? Is there news I need to know before everyone else does? Did I miss something while I was vulnerable and unconscious? Your phone answers all three of those ancient questions instantly. Who liked your post? What happened while you slept? Whether you're still connected to the people who matter. It's not an accident that checking it feels compulsive. It's not an accident that leaving it unchecked feels uncomfortable. You are running a 70,000-year-old security check on a modern network, and the network never sleeps. But why does this specific urge center on other people rather than, say, food or shelter? Anthropologist Robin Dunbar spent years studying primate social bonds and found something remarkable. For early humans, social information was survival information. Knowing who was allied with whom. Knowing who was angry, who was pregnant, who was injured, who might turn against the group. This wasn't gossip for entertainment. This was a constant, low-level surveillance system that kept individuals safe inside their tribe. Dunbar's research suggests that human brains grew partly to handle the complexity of tracking these relationships, because in a world without written records or messaging apps, the only way to know if you were still safe was to know exactly where you stood with everyone around you. Waking up and immediately checking your social standing wasn't a flaw. It was arguably one of the most adaptive behaviors a person could have. So think about what happens the moment you open your phone in the morning. You are not indulging a bad habit. You are performing an ancient, essential ritual using completely the wrong tools. Here's the twist most people never consider. The mismatch isn't just about what you're checking. It's about how the checking itself changes your body's chemistry. Ancient morning scanning ended. A person looked around, saw no threat, and their nervous system settled. Cortisol did its job and then receded. Modern morning scanning almost never ends the same way. There is always another notification. Always another headline. Always another comparison to make. Your ancestors' morning ritual had a natural finish line. Yours doesn't, because the group you're now scanning isn't 15 people around a fire. It's potentially millions of strangers, updating constantly, forever. This is the 70,000-year-old mistake. Not the scanning itself. The scanning without an ending. Your brain still believes that once it checks its surroundings, safety will be confirmed and the alert can stand down. But an infinite feed never confirms safety. It only offers more to monitor. Which means the elevated cortisol from your awakening response never actually gets the signal to relax. Some researchers now believe this is part of why so many people report feeling anxious first thing in the morning, even before anything has gone wrong. The body is stuck in scanning mode, waiting for an all-clear that modern technology was never built to give. Does that mean the phone is the enemy? Not exactly. The deeper truth is that your ancestors didn't fear the environment itself. They feared the unknown parts of it. And your brain, even now, treats unresolved uncertainty as more dangerous than almost anything else. A predator you can see is manageable. A rustle you can't explain is what keeps you frozen, alert, unable to relax. Your phone, full of unread messages and unresolved notifications, recreates that exact unresolved uncertainty every single morning. Red numbers on an app icon aren't just information. To an ancient part of your brain, they look exactly like a rustle in the grass that hasn't been explained yet. Understanding this doesn't mean you need to abandon your phone at the door. It means recognizing what your body is actually asking for when that urge hits. It isn't asking for information. It's asking for the all clear. It wants confirmation that the group is intact, the environment is stable, and nothing changed while you were unconscious and vulnerable. That need is not weakness. It has kept your ancestors alive across ice ages, migrations, and thousands of generations you will never meet but directly descend from. The mistake isn't that you check. The mistake is expecting a feed with no end to ever tell you that you're safe. Tonight, when you go to sleep, your brain will begin preparing the exact same ancient ritual it has run every single night for 70,000 years. And tomorrow morning, before your feet touch the floor, before you've even opened both eyes, you'll feel that same pull again. Not toward your phone. Toward safety. The real answer to why you reach for it isn't as simple as habit at all. It's the oldest instinct you have, quietly running in a world it was never built for.